What's up, guys? We're here with Thursday night NFL football action here for Week 8. We're going to take a deep dive on the Vikings versus Chargers. I'll give my favorite bets against the spread and over-under, and we're going to look at a ton of NFL player props. Also, we're going to cover both NBA games here on Thursday and give a bunch of props for both games, so buckle up. We have a great video for you today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and player availability being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, still have a lot cooking out there across the sports world. We got off to a rough start. We had Orlando at -8. They did eventually win that game 25-21, but not enough to get the job done for us. Their defense was just not good enough to make this a comfortable win over the Heat, so we do get burned here taking a favorite despite them getting the straight up win. We had the over there in that 76ers-Celtics game, over 228, and we were a bit worried about this one early on, but we see the over come through for us thanks to a staggering 72 total points being scored in the fourth quarter for the 76ers to win that game 117-116. 83 total threes and 56 total free throws in this game definitely helped us get the win. We also had the Bucks at -9.5, a comfortable 133-120 win there for Milwaukee behind a 37-point performance there from Giannis and a double-digit scoring from every starter, even Kevin Porter Jr., who only played 9 minutes in the game. Washington managed to lose this game convincingly despite shooting over 40% from three on 42 attempts. We still have Klay Thompson live to get to 3 made threes in this game, and right now he's at 1 made three, so only need a couple more from Klay. You know he's going to get a few more shots up, so that looks live. We have Harrison Barnes over 3.5 boards at +119 as our dog of the day. Unfortunately, Wembanyama is grabbing up all the boards so far in that game. Barnes has 1. We just need him to get 3 more. We'll see if he can make that happen. Unfortunately, we had the Cavaliers at -3.5 as our massive lock of the day. Clearly, we already can't really trust NBA injury reports because it seemed very likely the Cat would sit this game out, but he did play, and the Knicks shot double the free throws that the Cavs did, and despite a monster game from Donovan Mitchell, the Cavs just didn't have enough there with Garland and DeAndre Hunter both sidelined. So an unfortunate loss on the lock of the day. We're going to see if we can bounce back in this one though, guys. Got a nice football game to cover. Got a couple NBA games to cover on the 2-game slate. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. We'll also cover what the premium picks did there yesterday. So lots to talk about here on a very busy Thursday. And first up, we're going to be looking at the Minnesota Vikings as they go on the road to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. The Vikings come into this game 3-3 on the season. Last week, they took the 28-22 loss against the Eagles. We were on the Eagles in that game, so we were very happy to see that one shake out that way. The Vikings have had a bit of a weird year. 27-24 win against the Bears in week 1, got blown out by the Falcons, blew out the Bengals, lost in close to the Steelers, barely beat the Browns, and then lost 28-22 against the Eagles last week. They're going to be sticking with Carson Wentz there as a starting quarterback for this game, so no J.J. McCarthy. Seems like he does not really have the trust of the organization, and also, you know, he's technically not healthy, but I would think if he was actually a good quarterback, they would probably already be trying to rush him back, but we'll see how that goes. Last week against the Eagles, Wentz did not have a good time, completed 26 of 42 passes, 313 yards, so that's not bad, but picked off twice, 0 passing touchdowns, and sacked a couple times as well. He did manage to somehow run the ball 4 times for 28 yards, not something that's normally his MO. Jordan Mason had a decent day, 15 carries for 57 yards, but when you are not having a great time in terms of the score of the game, you're not going to be able to run it that much. Jordan Addison actually led the team in receiving, caught 9 out of 12 balls for 128 yards, no touchdowns there. Justin Jefferson, 5 catches on 10 targets for 79 yards. He's going to be getting really a lot of the attention there from every opposing defense. So we'll see what they can do with that moving forward, but it was not a great day offensively last week for the Vikings. They looked a little bit better in the second half, I suppose, but overall, not exactly an amazing showing. When Carson Wentz is your starting quarterback, like, that's just kind of what you have to expect against a good Eagles team. You know, against a lot of good teams, you're going to have some trouble. Now, defensively, it was not a fantastic story either. They only gave up 28 points. I guess only is a little bit generous of a word there, but gave up 3 passing touchdowns and 326 passing yards to Jalen Hurts. Didn't allow Saquon to get going. That's something that we still have yet to see this season, of Saquon have a good game, but they gave 183 receiving yards to Devontae Smith and 121 receiving yards to A.J. Brown. A pretty miserable day there. They also forced 0 turnovers, only came up with 3 sacks. Not a lot of positives there for the Vikings on defense, and it's not like the Vikings have been an amazing defensive team necessarily this year. They have had their moments for sure, and they're a team that can definitely pressure the passer. They're giving up 28 points per game. That's 10th in the NFL. That's not terrible. They are getting a lot of flack there on some of the mainstream media outlets about letting Darnold go. Maybe that wasn't such a good idea. We'll see what they can do here down the stretch. Very clearly to me, though, J.J. McCarthy not really ready to take the next step and be an NFL starting quarterback. So going to be Wentz under center. In terms of the injury report here, they're kind of healthy, like Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, like the skill positions are healthy. We do see a couple guys banged up there on the offensive line. O'Neal, questionable for this game at right tackle. Darashaw, questionable at left tackle. We'll have to keep an eye on their availability leading up to game time. There's not a ton of clarity on whether or not they're going to play. We'll see. It seems like it's very much going to be maybe not exactly a game time decision, but pretty close to a game time decision on those two offensive linemen. On defense, they're almost fully healthy. Van Ginkel is still going to be out for this game, but other than that, this Vikings defense is healthy, and they're going to be leaning on them pretty aggressively here, hoping they can have a good time against a Chargers team that hasn't had a great time of it lately. They've lost 3 out of their last 4 games after starting the season at 3-0, and it's gotten pretty bleak. I mean, a 3-point loss to the Giants, a 17-point loss to the Commanders, going to Miami and winning that one 29-27. But with how bad the Dolphins are, how excited should you get about that? And then last week, a 38-24 loss against the Colts in a game that, to be honest, wasn't really that close. I mean, did not love what we saw from Herbert out there. He passed the ball 55 times for 420 yards, so congrats. But you were also picked off twice, threw 3 touchdown passes, sacked 3 times. The running game basically non-existent. It's tough to really dedicate yourself to the run when you're getting outscored 23-3 in the first half. They were supposed to be a running and defensive team. Well, that is not looking like the reality right now. Obviously, some guys having big days out there catching the ball, like congrats, but that all comes in a losing effort because the defense is just so bad right now for the Chargers, giving up 38 points, albeit against a good Colts team last week, but still didn't have any answers there for Daniel Jones. Allowed him to pass for almost 300 yards and 2 touchdowns without intercepting him a single time. Only sacked him once. Jonathan Taylor had 94 yards on only 16 carries and 3 rushing touchdowns. Just a bad day out there for the Chargers. They generated 0 turnovers and gave up 38 points. And this is supposed to be a team that was going to be good defensively. I'm not seeing it. They're down to 18th in the NFL in points against. In their games against good teams, they give 21 points to the skeleton crew of the Chiefs in South America in week 1. And other than that, they really haven't had a good defensive showing. You gave up 20 points to the Broncos. They were pretty bad early on and still aren't great. Gave up 21 points to the Giants, 27 to the Commanders, and then getting shelled by the Colts last week. So not a good look at all. And the health problems continue to be something of a concern. The Chargers are healthy in terms of, they're starting, skill players. That's all fine. But they also could be missing 2 starting offensive linemen coming into this game. A very big deal, especially when their offensive line is already really bad and already going to be facing tons and tons of heat from that Vikings defense that loves to blitz. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, they've had a ton of injuries over the course of the season. Lots of guys on the IR. Elijah Molden probably going to be out there at free safety. We'll see. I can't remember if we've had any late breaking news yet. He is officially questionable. We really don't know here, especially on the short week, whether or not he's going to be available for this game. They can't be losing anybody else, guys. This defense is already pretty freaking terrible. So we'll see what they can do here. They are playing at home at least. Looking at the numbers, the Chargers 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 44.5 in this game. No real weather concerns here. Obviously playing in a dome in super temperate LA, so I'm not really too concerned about that. Both these teams very used to playing inside. In terms of trends for this game, the Vikings are 3-3 against the spread, 5-1 to the over. The Chargers 2-4-1 against the spread, 4-3 to the under. Guys, I can't pass up on getting the Chargers, or getting the Vikings here as underdogs against the Chargers. I will be taking Minnesota here plus 3.5. Yes, I do think that half a point is important. So if you have to take it at minus 120 to get that half a point, it's definitely worth it. I think that Minnesota blitz is going to really mess up what Herbert is trying to do. The Chargers haven't shown they can really run the ball recently, so I think that's going to be a problem for them in this game. I expect a pretty good day here for the Vikings defense in general. The Chargers defense is just flat out bad. There's a possibility here, a real possibility they could make Carson Wentz look like a real starting level NFL quarterback. But even if they don't, I think that the Vikings are going to be able to cobble together plenty of offense with just finding ways to get the ball to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison through the passing game without putting the ball in danger, and also just handing it off to Jordan Mason and letting him do his thing. So definitely give me the Vikings here, getting 3.5 points on the road. In terms of the total here, I'm going to slightly lean towards the over here. Obviously, we have perfect playing conditions. Getting to 44.5 could be a little bit tough in a primetime game with two defenses that aren't exactly top tier. Even though neither offense is really showing out at the moment, I do think there's a good chance we could find an overplay on this game. Now, in terms of some player props that I like for this one, first up, I will take Jordan Mason to score a touchdown in this game at plus 115. He's got touchdowns in back-to-back weeks, and the Chargers defense isn't looking nearly as good as what was projected heading into this season. Minnesota would way rather run it than leave it up to Wentz to try and not throw it to the other team. On the Chargers side, I'll take McConkey here to score a touchdown at plus 160. McConkey has touchdowns in each of the last 2 weeks before last week's game against the Colts, where he had 9 receptions on 15 targets, but only 67 yards. The offensive line sucking for the Chargers makes the passing game tough, but I still think at this price, McConkey has some value here in terms of a touchdown play. I like Herbert here to get intercepted at least once at even odds. He's thrown at least 1 interception in 4 of his last 5 games and has been picked off twice, 2 times, including throwing 2 interceptions last week against the Colts. The Vikings like to blitz. The Chargers offensive line sucks. Herbert giving up an interception in this game feels like a great spot, especially at even odds. Staying with Herbert here, I also take him under 4.5 rushing attempts here at minus 140. Last week was the first time he had over this number in their last 5 games. He had 6 running attempts against the Colts, and while he's going to get blitzed an awful lot in this game, I don't see him getting to run it much against a very athletic Vikings defense. On the Chargers side, I'll take Keenan Allen to get 6+ receptions in this game at plus 105. He had 11 catches last week on 14 targets versus the Colts, and while I do worry about Herbert's protection in this game, Allen can catch the quick looks where the ball comes out fast, and he's never been under 7 receptions in his last 5 games, so this play seems like it's got a good amount of value to me. On the Vikings side, guys, I'll take Hockenson to get to 5+ receptions at plus 140. He's coming off a great 6 reception and 9 target game against the Eagles, and this is definitely a step down in competition level. He got screwed out of a touchdown last week, which would have given him another reception, and I'm expecting something similar to what we saw from him in a solid performance against both the Eagles and Browns. So getting 6 receptions in this game, or at least 5, seems like a very reasonable spot here for Hockenson. Hey guys, hopping in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are doing daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. We had an extremely profitable weekend last week on the football side, and NHL, while it has cooled off over the last 2 days on short slates, has been on a great run, going 16-7 over the last 7 days. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, so definitely get over there for the free stuff, if not to sign up for anything premium, anything that costs anything. You definitely want to get over there and see those free picks that are exclusively posted over there, nothing to do with these videos. You also want to get over there to see and use our free bet size calculator, and that's also where you'll find our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see from me here in the videos. You need to get over there for sure and sign up for that free email newsletter though, guys. That's a fantastic resource every single day. There'll be at least 1 free pick in there, oftentimes 2 or 3. There'll be parlays included in those emails as well. Information on niche sports betting like golf, tennis, NASCAR, all kinds of crazy stuff like that. Anywhere we see value, that's going to be covered in those emails. Also updates on our results, all kinds of good stuff in those emails every single day. It's a fantastic resource. It's very low effort. All you have to do to get on that email list is click the link in the description, go to StumpTheSpread.com, click that little green login button, and sign up for a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. And you'll get 1 email straight to your inbox every single day with all kinds of great sports betting information. You also want to get over there to get in on our premium top confidence picks, which have been running pretty hot. Now, yesterday, the 21st, was a little bit of a letdown. Some tough beats there on the NHL side and some very, very bad beats on some NBA props, but that was after a transcendent run since the 16th. From the 16th all the way until the 20th. Things just went absolutely nuts. An undefeated 5-0 day there on the 20th. Like I said, the 21st was a little bit rough. The 22nd here, we've got some things still cooking. They're looking pretty good. Now, the Wild didn't come through. That was an underdog play that didn't quite cash. The over there didn't cash in that other NHL game, but we are looking very, very good with the Sacramento Kings +4. They're looking very, very likely to come away with a straight up win there over the Suns. Yabusele, we just unfortunately got some bad intel. He only ended up playing 12 minutes, and you're very unlikely to get to 4 boards in 12 minutes. But DiVincenzo's under on points plus boards is still looking very, very live there in the Timberwolves game, and Missouri State is absolutely cooking there. They're up 17-7 in that game against New Mexico State. So looking like could be a little bit of a 3-3 day there on the premium side, which obviously isn't what we aim for, guys, but keep in mind we're still very, very early in the NBA season, and these hockey slates these last couple of days have been very, very short slates, which only 3 or 4 games in each one. Once we get a nice big slate, I'm expecting our premium handicapper there on NHL to get right back on the hot run that he was on, because still, guys, over the last 7 days, across NHL, he's still 16-7. Crazy stuff there over a nice 7-game stretch. So definitely get in on that if you're interested. And also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We're going to be giving away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single week. We did our last giveaway on the 20th. We'll be doing our next Stump the Spread hoodie giveaway here on the 27th. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We do it live on the video. We spin that wheel, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address. So definitely get in on that if you guys are interested. But we're going to go ahead and dive back in, and we're going to hop over to the NBA side here. Now we've got 2 NBA games to cover today, and they're pretty exciting ones. They're both going to be on ESPN, so nice nationally televised games. First up, we're going to be looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder as they go on the road here to take on the Indiana Pacers. Now, first up here, guys, this is a finals rematch. The Thunder going up against the Pacers. Now, things are obviously going to look a little bit different than what we saw in the finals. Obviously, no Tyrese Halliburton here for the Pacers. That's a bit of a bad beat there for him and for them. That was rough. Now, the Thunder, they come into this game. They're going to be playing their second game of the season, and their first one went into double overtime where they do eventually get the 1-point win there over the Houston Rockets. So well played there to the Thunder. A weird up and down game there for SGA. He ends the game with 35 points, but really struggled in the first half. Only went 1 of 9 from 3 in the game. Did end up shooting 14 free throws, 10 of 14 from the free throw line. So he continues to get to the line with a lot of regularity. The bench for the Thunder did some positive things. I mean, it wasn't exactly an amazing bench performance. As a team, they only shot 13 of 52 from 3. Definitely a number they're going to be looking to improve on. They actually got destroyed on the boards, getting out-rebounded 52 to 38. That was pretty brutal. Against all the size the Rockets put out there, the Thunder definitely had a tough time on the glass. That will not be that much of a problem here with the Pacers, though. So we'll see what those matchups look like. Chet Holmgren had a massive day at SGA, like we already talked about. Struggled a little bit at times. Hartenstein was out there for 37 minutes, but didn't put up a ton of stats. Kason Wallace, a mediocre day. Dort, a terrible shooting night. One of those that he has pretty often. He goes 0 of 8 from 3 in that game. So we'll see if he's got a bounce back in him. We'll see if the Thunder in general have a bounce back in them for this game. In terms of injury concerns here for the Thunder, Caruso did suffer a concussion. He's going to be in the protocol, so that is not good news for the Thunder. He will very likely miss this game. Isaiah Joe still out. J-Dub not going to play in this game. Dort also on the injury report, guys. He's questionable for this one due to a left ankle sprain. So yeah, a lot of guys pretty banged up there for this Thunder team. That is not exactly great news here, as they're going to be going on the road to take on a Pacers team that I think is going to be excited for the possibility of getting some revenge. Now, this will be the Pacers' first game of the season and their first game of a season that they're not going to have Tyrese Halliburton. Andrew Nembhard is going to be leading the way, and I think he is poised for a big season, a chance to get a lot more of the ball being in his hands, a lot more, even more playing time, and just a lot more opportunity. I'm expecting big things from him this season, and potentially in this game. The idea that he won't have Caruso out there haunting his every step has to be very appealing. I think this will also be a breakout season for Benedict Mathurin. He showed crazy flashes last year in the playoffs. I'm expecting big stuff from him this season. Aaron Nesmith, also a guy that's looking to take on a bigger role with this team. A solid player on both ends of the floor. Definitely a plus level defender. Definitely somebody who can score the ball. So I once again am expecting a breakout season from him. Siakam, I'm not expecting anything too different from him except for to just continue being an absolute monster out there. We've loved what we've seen from Siakam over the course of his career. The dude is insane. His length, his athleticism, how improved of a shooter he's become. All very good signs here for this Pacers team as they try and make up for the absence not only of Halliburton but also of Miles Turner, who is no longer with the team. So we're going to be seeing Isaiah Jackson at center. We'll see Jay Huff at center some. I'm sure we'll see Obi Toppin. Maybe we'll even see Johnny Furphy there a little bit, and maybe even a little bit of taste of James Wiseman out there at center. That'll be very interesting. Definitely somebody who could run the floor with this team. The Pacers are going to play a very quick pace, and they're very healthy coming into this game. Not getting a ton of respect from the odds makers here. The Pacers are getting 7.5 points at home. We've got a total of 229 in this game. The Thunder, obviously 0-1 against the spread so far this season. Last season, they went 26-22-2 against the spread on the road, 25-24-1 to the over-under on the road. Last year, for the Pacers, their trends don't really matter because no Halliburton this year. So looking at the numbers, guys, once again, the Pacers getting 7 points, a total of 229 in this game. I don't have too big of a lean on the total. Maybe I'd even take a glance at under 229 here, but much better than that, guys, and I like it quite a bit. I will definitely be taking the Pacers here, getting 7 points. I think they've got an excellent chance to make life very, very tough here for the Thunder. They're going to be playing with a ton of speed, a ton of athleticism. They're going to be getting up and down the floor, and while the Thunder are a deep team, we didn't like what we saw from their depth in game one, and now role players playing on the road, that's not always a good thing. I am worried about a breakout game from SGA potentially, and I do think Holmgren can give the Pacers some issues, but I don't think any of that is going to be enough for the Thunder to win this game by 8 or more points. We also have a bunch of player props that we like for this game, and first up, I'll take Chet Holmgren here over 18.5 points at -115. He looked amazing in game one, ending up with 28 points in the 39 minutes he played before fouling out. Well, I don't think he gets to that number in this game. I liked enough of what I saw from him to think he can comfortably get to around the 20-point mark here despite playing on the road. An up-tempo game is not a problem for Chet Holmgren. Still on the Thunder's side, guys, I'll take SGA over 33.5 points at -110. It being an up-paced kind of game will definitely help with that. It is a very big number. No J-Dub out there, though, as he recovers from that wrist injury. More of a scoring burden there for SGA, so I don't think we're going to see a slow start from him in this one against maybe not that great Pacers defense. We'll have to see. I do think Amen Thompson slowed him down a lot there for the Rockets, so I doubt that that kind of defender does not exist on the Pacers. So SGA's over on points feels very live. On the Pacers side, I will definitely take Nembhard here over 12.5 points at -115. I know this is basically the toughest possible defense you can face, but with Caruso out, that definitely helps. Nembhard is a monster, going to have it, the ball in his hands a lot. Confidence is the name of the game for him. He's going to get some shots up. He's got to help make up for the absence of Halliburton. I think he does it in a big way here in game one. Staying with the Pacers, guys, I'll take Siakam over 1.5 made threes here at even odds. While shooting threes might not be his favorite thing to do, he has become a very proficient shooter from deep over the course of his career, and as long as the ball movement is still there for Indiana, I think he will get enough quality looks to get himself 2 makes in this game. And at even odds, I think this is another spot where we're showing some pretty solid value. Staying with Siakam, I'll also take him to potentially get a double-double in this game. Now, this probably won't make the pinned comment, but I do think that he has what it takes to grab a lot of rebounds in this game, as well as easily scoring in double figures. And almost 3-1 seems pretty reasonable. I mean, he's going to crash the boards here. I think this prop has some decent value. In our second game of the night here, guys, we're going to be looking at the Denver Nuggets going on the road to take on the Golden State Warriors. The Nuggets come into this one. It's going to be their first game of the season. They went 3-2 in the preseason. Obviously, for a veteran team like this, it doesn't matter that much, but there have been significant moving pieces here for the Denver Nuggets. Jamal Murray looking to have a breakout season. He's very, very far removed now from the serious injuries that he was taking. Maybe this could be a breakout season for Jamal Murray. Christian Brown just signed a big contract extension, so that's a big deal for him. I think it could be a problem for the Nuggets down the road potentially, but he has been a very key piece for this team. I'm expecting him to continue to show improvement. Cameron Johnson, one of the big additions for this team in the offseason. He's going to be looked at to take over that Michael Porter Jr. role. They're going to expect him to play much better defense, to rebound better, and to shoot the ball at a very similar clip. So I am also expecting good things from Cam Johnson. I don't know if it's going to take him a little bit of time to adjust potentially, so we'll see how game one goes and all that kind of stuff, but I do think this is a pretty good spot for him to have landed here in Denver. Getting passes from Jokic obviously is great. Aaron Gordon's healthy to begin the season, obviously a veteran monster, and then we've got the best player in the NBA in Nikola Jokic here anchoring this team. It doesn't get any better than Jokic, guys. I'm expecting another massive season from him. Lots of people have him to be their MVP this year. I think that makes tons of sense, all the sense in the world. I think he's going to put up cartoon numbers. Now, the thing that's really been reshaped here for the Nuggets is their second unit. Bruce Brown coming back. If he can look like the Denver Nuggets Bruce Brown once again, that's a huge deal. Tim Hardaway Jr. coming in, another great shooter who can play with the ball in his hands a little bit as well. That's awesome. Julian Strawther will be an interesting piece. Peyton Watson, they're hoping, will mature a little bit and show a lot more this year than he showed last year. And bring in Jonas Valanciunas. Now they have Jokic light to run this team when Jokic is off the floor, and now they don't have to run any different of a system really. They can just keep doing the same things that they were doing when Jokic was out there. So I think there are very high expectations for this Nuggets team for a reason. I think they're definitely in shape to potentially compete for a championship. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the Warriors, who are already 1-0 on the season. They got a 119-109 win there in game one over the Lakers in their the Lakers' first game with no LeBron. The Warriors definitely took advantage. Big nights for Jimmy Butler. A reasonable night for Steph, although he did struggle a little bit early in the game, but ends up with 23 points. Did what he needed to do out there, made a clutch 3 late. Pajemski, a bit of a struggle out there, but a massive night there from Jonathan Kuminga. Puts up 17.6 assists and 9 rebounds. Very, very good stuff. I loved what I see from Kuminga here in the early returns. Will he be able to keep this going? We'll see. Obviously, the Lakers not the toughest opponent, especially with no LeBron, so we'll see if he can keep it going here against a much tougher opponent here in the Denver Nuggets. Horford had a bit of a rough game with his new team. We'll see if he can bounce back a little bit from a 2 of 7 night with 5 rebounds. Not exactly a monster night for him, but Hield shut the lights out as we projected. Unfortunately, we didn't put Hield at +3 threes into our pinned comment plays. That would have been a really nice underdog pick because he cashed that one easily. Warriors shot the ball really, really well in game 1 and had 29 free throws. We'll see if they can continue to get that kind of free throw respect in this one. Now, in terms of injury news for the Warriors, no new guys being added to the injury list. Moses Moody still sidelined for this game. He's been officially ruled out with that calf issue. With any sort of calf issue, I think the Warriors and any team in the NBA should be taking it extremely, extremely cautious because that sounds like a blown Achilles waiting to happen. The Anthony Melton still out. He's going to be reevaluated here in about another week, and then we'll see what kind of reasonable timetable we're looking at for his return. So the Warriors basically healthy, except for Moody not back yet for this game. Looking at the numbers here, the Warriors 2-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 232.5 in this one. The Nuggets 23, 24, and 1 against the spread on the road, 27 and 21 to the over on the road last year. The Warriors, they're 1-0 against the spread this season. They were 24 and 23 to the over at home last year, so basically a 500 over-under team. Guys, I love the Nuggets in this game. You can take a +2. You could take them on the money line. Either one of those plays makes tons of sense to me. I don't think they're going to have too many problems here with the Warriors. Now, they do have some new pieces that they're going to need to integrate, but I don't feel like the Warriors have any answers defensively for Nikola Jokic. I don't think Al Horford can guard him. I don't really think anybody can guard him. I just don't think the Warriors even have the pieces to slow him down, and there's enough good pieces around him and a good enough bench. I think Golden State is in for a really, really tough night here in what is their home opener. So we'll definitely be on the Denver Nuggets. There are some player props that I certainly like for this game, and first up, a great one that I think has excellent value. I'll take Cameron Johnson under 3.5 assists in this game at -165. I think this is an excellent play. Honestly, could potentially be a lock of the day. I think it's that good of a value because on a new team and in a completely new situation, I just don't expect him to have the ball in his hands all that much. And while Denver's offense is a well-oiled machine, I doubt we see Cameron Johnson putting up 4 assists in his very first game with a new team, and he's playing on the road. Like, there are lots of reasons to think this could be a bit of a stretch. On the Warriors side, I will take Podziemski over 1.5 made threes at -166. It's not an incredible price. In his 33 minutes against a very tough Thunder team, we only saw him shoot the ball 7 times, something that needs to change here at home going against the Nuggets. He had 4 attempts from 3, only made 1. I'm expecting more like 6 threes taken by him in this game, and there's a great chance he knocks down 2+. We were talking about how much we liked Kuminga here, and I like him in this spot a bit. I'll take him over 19.5 points plus rebounds at -125. Loved what we saw from him in game 1. This Nuggets team is going to be drastically tougher to handle than the Lakers. I still think we see another stat-stuffing game from him. Versus the Lakers, he had 17 points and 9 rebounds. Doesn't need numbers anywhere close to that to get to this over. I also like Kuminga's over on made threes. I'll take him to make 2+ threes at +123. Very good odds here. He was 4 of 6 from 3 on the road in game 1. I think playing at home will help him be even more comfortable shooting the ball. His shot looks slightly improved. Looks a little smaller, not that hitch at the top of his release that he had a year ago. He's got a lot to prove this season. I'm expecting another night where he is unafraid to take and make big shots. Staying with the Warriors, guys, I'll take Horford to make 2+ threes in this game as well at +153. Very solid price tag here. Horford was a little tentative and just a bit off with his new team in game 1 in that win over the Lakers, but I'm expecting a bounce back from him in this one. He went 1 from 4 for 3 in that win. It turned down some other shot opportunities he for sure will be told to take today here in film sessions. I think he knocks down a couple in this game while he's going to be away from the basket anyway, so I think that's all very, very positive. On the Nuggets side, I'll take Jamal Murray 3+ made threes in this one at +147. First game of the season here for Murray. I'm expecting him to come out firing. This team is still going to be searching a bit for offense when Jokic is off the floor, and Murray, if he gets going on a little run, could knock down 3 threes for us here in quite the hurry. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a very interesting Thursday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I plan to get back to every single one of those that I possibly can. I appreciate everyone watching. Make sure you click on the link in the description. Get over there to stumpthespread.com, check out all the free stuff we offer, but also get over there to stumpthespread.com, get on that email list, and check out those premium picks. I know it's been 2 tough days there for hockey in a row, but the run this guy's been on has been pretty transcendent. I don't think we're going to see him fall off a cliff here. I think we're going to see very, very good stuff here from him as soon as he gets his hand on a deep hockey slate. So definitely get in on that, guys. Check out everything we offer at stumpthespread.com, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow. Same time, same place for more sports betting action.